Gone for a year, only go like once. Life move fast when you do what you want. Good life, better than the life I live when I thought that I was gonna go crazy.
Hey guys, welcome. It's been a little minute since I sat down and did a little chit chat. Don't worry, it's not gonna be a 20-minute plus video. People have been noticing my change as in how I express myself and my energy, and I'm like always positive and always like in a good mood, right? Which, and granted, even right now as I'm speaking, I'm in my luteal phase, which is crazy because I've been in a great mood all week, and peace and serenity. People have been asking me how have I been so happy like all the time, and honestly, finding your peace and becoming unbothered basically. And how did I get there? And that's what I'm saying, like as somebody that had anxious attachment issues before, not even that, but just also other things that were like things that would easily trigger me. The thing is, like, I wouldn't care about other people's opinions or anything because, you know, that's their opinions or whatever. I'm more so just like, as in, yes, I wouldn't care about what they say, but more so they are still saying something about me and it would make me feel a way. Obviously, I am human, but it was more so like I've been very relaxed lately. Well, obviously, first, Ramadan did change me in a great way. I'm not gonna lie, I still was in the process of fully knowing myself. Like, I'm as in like I know myself, but as in like the self-control part, as in who's in control. Like, once you know how to control your mind and you know how to control your thoughts, literally everything will flow. But like, to be like a conscious mind, especially like me with Islam and everything, it's like I got back into Islam for me. I know God always has a plan for everybody in our own path, and yes, God might give you nudges in your angels. So God let me do me until I was ready to find him, and I'm glad I did find him. And once I found him again fully and was actually submerged in the whole thing, and it was during Ramadan. Okay, for me, everything's common sense, right? But if it's something that there's actions and rules for, then I would want to know the rules so I'm doing it correctly. You know what I'm saying? I know there's other rules that I probably should look up, and not that I'm afraid to look them up to like stop everything that I'm doing, because obviously I'm not going to say I'm the best Muslim. That's not what it is. I'm literally just getting back into it. But with that, it's not, the thing with me is like, I just know everything's just too in-depth. Everything is very much in-depth. It's not just the Quran. That's why I need to find people that like knows what I'm talking about in a way, and like the spiritual way of Islam. And like, yes, Islam is the religion, but there's also a spiritual aspect to the whole thing, and that's more so of like the conversations I like to engage in. Like, as in, like, I am in control of my own body. I'm in control of my own mind. God literally gave me the strength. I've been so in tuned and at peace and in love with myself these past couple of months, like tremendously. Like, honestly, I've never felt more happier in my 29 years of life, and consistently at that. Like, as in, I'm waking up every single day. I'm so grateful. That's one thing. I feel like people need to be more grateful for certain things, as in like, we woke up today. You should be grateful we woke up today. You get what I'm saying? People don't get to wake up. Unfortunately, are going through a lot. You guys see how the world is at right now. So that's, I'm just like, you guys should literally be doing stuff that like makes you genuinely happy. I'm not saying, oh, I think the world's ending. No. It's not on some stuff like that. We're going to say, like, we never know. Any day could be judgment day. Any day could, you know, anything could happen. We don't know nothing. We're just living day by day, and just be grateful. And I don't want this to be dark, but as in, like, if this was our last days, would you guys want to be living the lives that you're doing now? As in, like, are you doing something you're actually genuinely happy with? When I said that in the last video, I know some people were probably like, oh, what is girl yapping about? Da 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 da. Me, my two favorite jobs worked with my two lowest paying jobs, but it was like more so the enjoyment and thrill that I got out of that. I don't know if it's like a dopamine hit or what it is, but as in, as much as the pay sucked in a way, I didn't care because I knew that my purpose, and I felt like I was making a change. I was doing good. I was bettering children, bettering people, like structuring, like, I don't know, I really enjoyed my two least paying jobs, which is crazy. 2025 was probably a hard year for everybody, but not, and the people that didn't have a hard year, God bless you. But 2025 was something different. I feel like I went through so much in 2025 that I had to sit and reflect with, because I'm the type of person, I'm out of sight, out of mind. So like, if something's gonna hurt my feelings or make me upset, why would I sit there and think about it and dwell on it? So that's as like learning how to control your mind. Why are you letting that one thought pop in your head? You're literally living in the past, or you're living in the future. And I did used to live in the past a lot, but more so like to better myself and knowing how like life would be. Obviously people like lived in the past and stuff like that, but before I used to be like, dang, I should have done this, I should have done that, blah 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 blah. I should have went to prom or stuff like that. For prom, not really so much, because I really care about that. I was just like, who finna spend all this money on a dress for a night? That's one thing I'm just like, I get it for the experience and stuff like that, but for me, no. I went on my graduation trip, which I was completely fine with. And plus I think that year I got my own car. Like I had to grow up really fast. I bought my own car when I was a junior, going into my senior year, I believe. To grow up fast. So like for me, people might think, oh, she gets things easy, blah 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 blah. No, I actually fight for what I want. How she moved out in her culture and stuff like that. Obviously it was a big change for my parents. They didn't obviously agree with it. I do live for Aram. Besides like healing, 2025 I was at a job, or at 2 jobs, but that first job I was literally getting like verbally abused by like adolescents. Verbally abused, and it was real violent in there. Like the energy in there was demonic, I would say. I could say that with my whole heart. But then it was like the workspace, it was like people were aware of this stuff and they're like just letting them still do whatever the heck they want. I'm just like, are we helping the children? Are we just messing up our adult mental, like are you messing up my mental health basically? I'm like, are we not here to help? And you would tell them like what the situation is, whatever. I'm just like, they didn't care. They're like, oh, they're kids, da da da. I'm like, no, Shotty's pushing like 30. When I tell you, when my first orientation or training day, as soon as I stepped into the facility, 5 curse words within the first 30 seconds. Is that not, and we're children, and like you can't correct them. Like, oh, it's the freedom of speech. It's called respect. That whole building had no type of respect, and clearly they didn't respect their employees, because why are you gonna let stuff run like that? But I'm not even gonna get into that whole thing business. But like 2025 was a lot. That was a lot. And also like when I was saying the people pleasing and stuff like that, like I had, and then it made me see things in a very different light about people's true intentions and how they move. And then with me, it's like, I'm not a confrontational person. The thing with me is like, I'll just keep checks in my head, and once I keep the checks in my head, and then once I'm like, usually I'll just let you slide, or like just not talk to you anymore, because it's never that deep. But unless it's like somebody that like obviously I do care about the person, so I would like to mention it to them. But once I start mentioning it to them, now I'm the one that's like, oh my god, like why didn't you mention this before, and blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, because it wasn't that deep before. But then I felt like I gave you too many chances, beyond too many chances, and that was just due to loyalty. I'm a very loyal person. I'm a loyal friend, loyal everything, beyond loyal. And like I love hard. So it's like, but once I don't care anymore, then don't really care anymore. But that's what I'm saying. I can that's the thing. Like once I love you, but once that disconnect, or I feel like I'm being mistreated or being not understood, and just being, I just feel like I'm just being disrespected basically after like repeating myself several times. It comes to a point. As much as I can love hard, I can go cold quicker. I'm very a passionate person, but also if you do me dirty, I see that you do me dirty, and I'm not like dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like I granted, like that's what I'm saying, and that's where the chances come up to, like as in like the people that I actually care about, and I put on chances, and then you're still gonna like move weird after I gave you all these chances. I'm just like, now you're trying to take my kindness for weakness, and we're not gonna do that, because now I feel like you're playing in my face. And I'm just like, if I wouldn't do that to you, why would you do that to me? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? People might think like, oh, okay, I switched up, or whatever the case might be. Did I switch up? Did I? Or are you projecting? People are projecting. People project on me. Obviously, I'm not saying that's gonna change, as in yes, I'm not trusting people 100%, but like the way I am with people, that doesn't change. And I'm not the type of person, like, just because somebody hurt me, somebody did me dirty, somebody did multiple, like, the way my life, by 28, I keep saying 29, I know I'm turning 20, that's crazy that I'm turning 29. 29, but my 28 years of life, I'm surprised I haven't turned into an ice queen or the biggest bee in the universe. I'm literally a pure soul, and that's what I'm saying. As in, when people project on me, I feel insulted and I feel away, and I literally, and that's what I'm saying, like, I can feel when people don't like me.